Well, it was a unique first season as a first-year head coach for Dartmouth head coach Alex Frank. The former All-American player at Northwestern took over after Danielle Spencer left for Stanford. And after an undefeated start with the top 10 ranking, it came to a stop amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Along with now being the leader of the Big Green, she's also an assistant coach for the U.S. women's national team, looking ahead to next summer's World Cup. So it is now time to go on call with Alex Frank, an assistant coach for the U.S. women's national team, also the head coach up there at Dartmouth. First off, before we get to the U.S. women's national team, we got to talk about your Dartmouth season, because your first year as a head coach comes to a screeching halt. How did you handle and try to kind of deal with everything that you had to deal with as a college coach this spring?
I think, it's one for the books. There's no question about that. When everything happened, the Ivy League kind of spearheaded the movement. And so not really knowing what the future was going to hold, we just met as a team, and I told them, you're going to feel all sorts of emotions, anger, sadness. Sometimes you're going to laugh, and that's okay. And I think for us, it was just a time for us to reflect on what we were able to accomplish in such a short amount of time. I think a lot of people have been asking, like, oh, your season was cut short. And, while the actual games were cut short, we had seasons since September. So, I evaluate this season based off of the 6 months we had together. And I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish in a short time. And I'm disappointed that, we won't be able to see where we were going to go with this group, but I'm thankful for the opportunity we had. And, this senior class was an incredible class to have as a first year head coach. And I can't wait to see what they do in the future.
Well, you're certainly prepared to deal with just about anything with the different coaches that you've coached with over the course of your career. We talk about with the women's national team, Jenny Levy. Obviously, you also spent time with Acacia Walker-Weinstein and Ann Elliott-Whitten. How have all of them kind of shaped who you are now as a head coach?
I just say I'm so fortunate that I've learned from so many different coaches. They each have their own unique styles. And I think, while I started my coaching career at Boston College and then followed up at Colorado, I was able to enter, those programs at different times. Boston College was, continuing to push that top 5 ranking. And when Acacia took over as the head coach, I was fortunate to be her assistant in those first few years. And just to see where that program was going, you're able to learn a lot and what that building looks like. And then transition to Colorado, it was their 3rd year as a program, and seeing what the beginnings of building a program looked like and what it took, and, the amount of success we had in a short amount of time. And, that's Ann Elliott-Whitten's baby. It was her program, and to be able to see what that looked like too, you're just kind of continuing to take from each coach. And then obviously this opportunity with the national team with Jenny, I think it's just been great to, learn from her coaching style. And when you're coaching such elite level athletes, you're learning from them as well. So it's just continue to, inspire me and, want me to continue to learn, along the way. And I'm just grateful, because I think while this season was cut short, not that anyone could be prepared, but, I was able to take from all the different people I learned and really figure out what it was we were going to be able to do and help our team moving forward.
Let's focus in on Team USA. It's obviously a special opportunity to get that call and be part of a coaching staff leading a national team. What have you learned so far about the process, and what do you hope to continue to learn as you guys lead up into that summer of 2021?
Of course. I was able to participate on the team 1 year. I believe it was the 2009-10 year in my sophomore year of college. And as a player, all you're thinking about is this opportunity and what an honor it is to represent and to play with the best players in the country. And, I had injury kind of throughout my career that when I graduated, I really was like, I think I need to take a break. And so as I got more into coaching, I realized that, it was my time to hang up the cleats. And when Jenny approached me about this opportunity, I first I was, so honored, and I don't really know like what words I could use to really describe when she called me, because I think I just was like, really, me, just a young assistant at the time. But it's allowed me to see what U.S. lacrosse is all about, and this greater landscape for what we want to do with lacrosse and America, as well as internationally, and what we're trying to do. I think it's just, I'm so fortunate to be a part of it, and I get to learn different parts of the games from different coaches. I get to learn from the players, these high elite athletes, and you're just continuing to build yourself. And I can't say thank you enough to Jenny for giving me this opportunity to be able to work with her, and Joe Spallina and Amy Altig. It's definitely an awesome coaching crew. And again, these players are so motivated, and just to be able to work with them and learn about what keeps them going, it allows me to go back to my team and hopefully inspire them to want to compete internationally at some point.
Obviously, there's some unknown at this point with the process and when we're going to be able to get the national teams back together. But this Women's World Cup in 2021, fingers crossed, will go off without a hitch. And it's here on home soil. It's been a while since the U.S. has won on home soil. What's the importance of this World Cup on the women's national team and also on the sport?
I think it being home and, like you said, winning on home soil, I think for that, it's just, the U.S. team wants to come in fighting and competing for that. The past World Cups, obviously, we've had success, and we want to continue that. And, off the U19 women's team winning this past summer, I was fortunate to be able to be up there. And, I think it's just an amazing accomplishment of what you're trying to do. And, I think Jenny Levy has made it a point from the start. We aspired for that Olympics, and to continue to push this sport at every chance we get would be huge. And, a lot of that starts with a fan base. Being home, we want to be able to fill the stands as much as we can, and, show people that people want to watch the sport of lacrosse. And I think there's already been a huge push from that by all the professional leagues, and then obviously all the national teams. And we need to continue that, especially going into next summer. I think that'll be a great opportunity for us to, again, really show what the women's lacrosse is able to do on a national stage and internationally, and what better place to do it than in home soil. And, I was a freshman in high school, I think, when the last World Cup was in Maryland, and I can remember going there and watching, and you left the stadium like, oh wow, like that's a feeling that no U.S. women's team probably ever wanted to feel. And so I think having that in our back pocket, knowing that that was the last time, we want to take it back, and we want to be successful in front of our home crowd.
Well, part of the lead up to this was an exhibition during the Fall Classic against Team Canada, and you've gone through the game film here, and we focused a lot on offense of these coaches on call. We're going to focus on the other end of the field with you on defense. It leads us into our first clip. Obviously, trying to defend Selena Lasota, Dana Dobie, difficult. What stands out to you about this one as we pick things up in the first quarter?
Yeah, of course. One of the things we talk about on the defensive end is being pressure. We want to get out. And so you can see we're doing a great job. We bite on Selena's little bit of move there, but we have that slide, and we're able to make up for the fact that we are sliding. So you can see the aggressive style of play. A lot of the reason why we do this is we want the offense to speed up. And, Canada has such incredible stick work and IQ that, they are able to adapt whatever we're kind of giving to them. But that pressure is still going to make them uncomfortable. So you can see Selena makes a backhanded pass. Dana's making another backhanded pass, allowing us as defenders to really have control as that ball moves again. So for us, again, we want to make sure we're getting out, we're making those aggressive plays. We're stepping up. And while there are times where we might bite on fakes or things like that, we have each other's back. So Alice Mercer does a great job of sliding. We have a second slide by Dempsey, and then we're crashing on that backside, and we're able to come up with a great check and get the ground ball. And, those are the cause turnovers we want when playing against, these international opponents. We want to be aggressive. We talk about taking calculated risks, and that's what this is. We jump a double, we make sure everyone else is there, and we're able to come up with that ground ball at the end of the play.
Let's move on to the second quarter. A theme in just about any U.S. and Canada matchup is trying to defend a two-man game, right?
No question.
So walk us through this one.
Yeah, so here you can see they slow down, and you can see we're really pressured out. We're starting to get out here. So as Canada is setting up, we're getting ourselves ready. They go into the two-man here in a second. So as they start to play, again, we're really high out. In this two-man, we decide to jump right off the bat, which allows, our players to have to recover too, and ends up, again, Canada plays a little bit faster pace, so they're not able to come up with the play that they want. So when you play in a two-man game, and you decide to jump that double and be aggressive, we talk about the defenders having to move on the string. So you see eventually when the double team goes, Alice Mercer is that second slide in the middle, and then we have to slide up from the crease to help with that. So that's a big part of when you want to be aggressive on the two-man. You want to come out, you want to make them have to be uncomfortable. And in doing so, we do a really good job of this. We have that second slide, we slide up from the crease, and then we really focus on the middle, making sure that anywhere the ball is, we are, and then, we're making sure it's not easy for them to score a goal. So you're able to see that in that clip, and it's a really good job by our defense recovering, because same thing, anytime you double team the ball, you are a man down in situations, and in that sense, we were a man down a little bit because our double team was dragged out, but the other defenders, Meg Dowdy and Kitty O'Donnell, did a really good job of playing that man down situation as if they were even, making sure they were marked up, making sure they were covering those middle players, and again, allowing us to end up getting a ground ball off of an errant pass.
Let's flash ahead to the fourth quarter because it's another two-man game situation. What do you see here?
Yeah, so very similar here. This time we don't jump the double immediately. We do a much better job of, holding our space and continuing the 1v1. Here, though, as they get to the middle, we have to send that slide. And again, you can see us shifting and making sure we're marking up those open people. We're able to come back, which allows us to be even again, which is a great play. And then as they continue, again, you can see as Selena Lasota is driving up this side, they have another player looking to send a two-man, so now they're looking for these cuts and feeds, and we have to make sure we're marking up. So very similar to that last clip, as we get into this situation, here we decide not to jump the double right away. Great, so we're all marked up, but you can see there's ready for help. Now, as we're relying on this 1v1 defense, again, we have to be ready to slide. We commit to this double team, and you see our defenders shifting, again, to the middle, shifting up, as the ball moves back to the middle and back out, and we're all marked up. That's a great recovery. While we weren't able to get, a cause turnover off that one, we are now back to playing 1v1 defense. We're really back to being aggressive. And then same thing here. They make a pass, but we're marked up. And, again, it's not what they're looking for. They're not able to score an easy goal.
And finally, let's go back to the third quarter. You talk about pressuring out. That seems to be a theme of all these U.S. women's national teams when we look at international competition.
Yeah, this clip, I think, is textbook to our defense. This is exactly what we're looking for. Really, really great ball pressure out in everyone we do. Even the adjacents are out. We're relying on that 1v1, but knowing we have help. So you can see here Dempsey does a great job of being aggressive on ball, and we send the slide here. That's a calculated risk, and Alice Mercer does an incredible job in that second slide. So those are the type of plays we want to make. That's the defense being in control, which is exactly what we want. And it starts with that ball pressure. We encourage our defenders to be confident in their 1v1 abilities, to really stress that footwork, and then to make plays when we're able to. And a lot of why we're able to make this play is because we're all on the same page, right? Alice is sending Emma to go double, and then Alice can be that next person, and we cause a turnover. Those are the plays that when we go back and we watch film as a group, we show this to our defense, and we're like, that is a great opportunity opportunity for us, and that's a cause turnover we want. It speeds up the game a little bit. A lot of why we pressure is there is no shot clock in the international game, so we want to make this exciting, and we want, teams to have to come attack. And what better way to make them attack than going attacking them? And I often talk about when we're coaching defense is being in control. The defenders, oftentimes people will say, well, they're reacting to the offense. If a defender is in control, they're making the offense have to do something they may not want to do. And we do that here very nicely, especially as we jump that slide and we make sure we have our teammates' backs there in the second slide.
And it certainly helps when you have some of the best athletes in the game on that side of the field as well, right?
There's no question. I mean, Alice Mercer, Meg Dowdy, Becca Block, Emma Trenchard. I think I could continue to list all the defenders. I mean, it is so much fun to watch them and to coach them. And, the amount of prep they go into it, the amount they're focused on, their goals, it just makes this team so fun. And, to have goalies like Liz Hogan and Kaylee Waters, with that confidence, knowing they will make saves, you're that much more confident to go out and play the ball, which, is what we've stressed to our defenders.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for the time. Thanks for being on call for U.S. Lacrosse. Stay safe, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. You as well.